Hey, what's up, guys? This is a continuation of Builder of All Things podcast, season 3, episode 1. You are listening to part 2. Enjoy, guys.
I come from a poor family, yeah. We ain't never had a lot, yeah. But the Lord been good to us, yeah. Now we riding on the top, yeah. I come from a poor family, yeah. We ain't never had
After that season, Richie, recently you guys took a trip, for a special occasion, and now things have been kind of calming down in terms of business wise. Now we're gonna get back to posting and all that stuff, but it's nice that, from my perspective, it's nice to see when you guys go out to trips, because I see how hard you guys work all the time. I'm like, bro, these guys need a trip. But when they told me, guys, you guys are heading out somewhere, but yeah, can you talk about that real quick?
Tiffany's birthday.
Hey.
I think just our season of life. I'm so thankful for so many things. I love my perspective on life right now, and Tiffany's as well, like ours together. And yeah, we went through I think the busy weight of it was the California job, just going back and forth to Cali. And then being away from my wife, and it was all God, for real. Like the Cali job had to happen. God, it was all a God move. As much as there was, the going back and forth, like I praise God so much for what we did, and that's a whole another podcast. And
I was gonna say, let's do another podcast.
That's definitely another podcast, but because of that, the market and what the world was doing, and just everything else going on, man, we're just tired. We're getting tired, and we needed a retreat. And it was probably that was a little loud. That was probably the cheapest retreat ever, because we went to the island of Moloka'i. Did I say it right?
You did.
I've been working really hard on that. And the reason is, I chose that as a semi-surprise for her. I just bought the ticket and said, yo, we're going here. Hey. She was like, I thought we was going to a Warriors game. I was like, I could change the tickets.
You asked me if I could go to any island, which island would it be?
Oh, okay.
Boom. Yeah. Well, I'll let you share your experience on the island in summary, and then I'll jump on and share what I got out of it.
Can I start from the asking? Mm-hmm. Okay. So Richie asked me, if you could go to any island, which one would it be? Mm-hmm. And I think I know it's because of the season of life that we're in, with the busyness, with the grandkids, with the family. Before Tiffany would have said, let's go to Big Island or Maui, you know what I mean? Because I'm just really into like shopping and sightseeing and doing all of these things, but just the season that we're in. Yeah, food. I love food. I said Moloka'i because like it's almost like I knew that if we went there, we would be forced to relax.
I see. Yeah.
The reception is horrible. I mean, everything closes at 6:00.
How do you know this, Tiff?
Because I grew up there. I spent my summers. My grandfather was a pastor of a church there on Moloka'i, so I spent every summer till I was 15 years old in Moloka'i. So I knew that there was absolutely nothing to do, and it was also a nostalgic. I have a lot of memories, so I was like, okay, let's go to Moloka'i. And he was like, really? And next thing I know, he was like, I got tickets. We're going. And I was like, then, we're not going to a game? It's because you pumped it up, right? You pumped it up. You're like, Warriors.
Side note, tickets are insane though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're in this season of life. Like, I don't even think I could sit in that audience, like, and watch a game, because
too much energy.
Where we went was perfect, honestly. After, before it all, I was like, yeah, Warriors, but afterwards, I'm like, man, that's what we needed.
Yeah, continue.
So to start off, in order to get to Moloka'i, the only airline that flies there is Mokulele.
You guys know what that is?
Mokulele Airlines, guys. So Hawaiian, and back when they used to have Aloha Airlines, they used to fly there. But because there isn't enough business for those large aircrafts, they stopped servicing the island. And the aircrafts on Mokulele, because one of the biggest plane, which I think was like a 20-some seater.
Really? We didn't get that one.
No, that's the one that broke.
Oh.
Thank you, Jesus. The day before we went, it was on the news. It was on the news.
Man.
The propeller burnt out.
She's trying to send me these links. I ain't reading them. No way. I
was just like, what in the world?
Mental health.
Yeah, I know better. I was like, I ain't opening those.
So we ended up on a 9-passenger aircraft.
Man,
I tell you, it's no joke, Ray. Like
5 feet.
Not even kidding. Like we're crunched. You gotta like hunch over to get in. And
I didn't see this in the stories.
Oh, we got stories all over my phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Show me up there.
So, I mean, we flew on these planes when we were little. It was Moloka'i Airlines back then. So I was totally familiar with this. It was, it's a cheap flight. And the only thing is because it's a smaller aircraft, the turbulence is going to be more extreme.
And it was a windy day.
It was we went on a very windy day. So I'm just sitting in my seat, and the further back you sit in the aircraft, the bump, kind of like a bus.
Sure.
It's going to be bumpier.
And we was over there in that back.
We wasn't in the back. There was only one seater behind us in the tail, but we were the one right there. We was like literally like the pilot said, excuse me, ma'am, can you help me shut the door? And I was like, you want me to do what?
While you guys are on the plane?
No. When we're like, he's like closing the door.
Okay. Yeah.
I sat right by the door and I had to like secure it shut. I was so afraid. I was like, why are you trusting me? Right? Why are you trusting me to do this? Yeah. But so I'm looking at it the whole time, but.
Hold on, the lock I was thinking of is like the bathroom one where you just hook the stuff.
It's kind of like that. I'm not even kidding. You just you turn it and you push it. Yeah. Dude, I was so scared.
So sketchy.
But I look over, we get up into the air, and I'm like, okay, I remember this now. I remember this. Yeah. It's all like, and it's not just like this,
up
you guys.
Up and down.
It's like this.
It's like left and right.
Shucks.
Left and right.
It's like a long roller coaster ride. Not even. I kid you not. He doesn't do rides.
I don't do roller coaster rides.
No.
If you know me, if I get on a roller coaster ride, like I love you. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't do.
He doesn't do it for me.
How long was the flight? How long was the flight?
It was too long for him. Yeah. I think it was about 25 minutes.
Oh, why you got to reveal that? Man, she said, I mean, from her perspective, she was like, man, I knew you was in trouble because I look over and I seen your Adam's apple just swallowing air.
I thought he was asleep. I was like, oh, he went to sleep. Good job. Because I know he has a hard time, right? But no, I just seen his swallow, his eyes darting back and forth. I was like, oh my gosh.
Man, and then like, and those who don't know this about me, not only like roller coaster rides, but even planes, like
period.
I have a hard time, a very, very hard time, like all the way through. And then when I get off the plane, I feel like you
want to kiss the ground.
I'm not a plane guy. I'm sorry, man. I can do a lot of things, but it's just, I was just laid out, and I remember I was like, I laid back. I was like, man, I'm just gonna go to sleep. Then we start going up. I'm like, oh man, this case is a little different. And I'm like, I'm like, what? Okay, I was putting my headphones on. Man, I forgot my headphones. Oh no! I'm like, I got no music to listen to. I got no music to listen to distract me. I'm gonna try my phone. Oh, where's my phone? It's in my back pocket. I can't get it out of my back pocket. I'm like, oh no! I was like, I need to bend my knee. I can't bend my knee. I was like, I need to stand up. I can't stand up. I need to go to the bathroom. Oh man, I'm freaking out. I open up my eyes, and then it's just like even worse.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, close my eyes again.
If you're a claustrophobic, that must have been tough.
It was, man. I just prayed the whole time, man. I mean, I'm sitting here joking, but I just pray and just like, but it's funny because my prayers aren't like, God, I love you and you're awesome. It's like, Lord, I'm ready to die today. Please take my spirit and my soul. Forgive me of my sins. That's my prayer.
Make it quick and painless, Lord.
Yeah. Please put your hand under this plane.
So you take that flight. You land on Molokai. Mm-hmm. What's I mean, for you, Tiff, it's a bit more personal because you grew up there.
Yeah.
How did that feel, or what were your what were you looking forward to, or?
I think once we got off the plane, the first thing that I was most excited to see was the coconut grove, and across the street from the coconut grove was the church and the parsonage where I grew up. Yeah. And so we drove up, and it was like nothing changed. Nothing on Moloka'i changed. I mean, the trees were like a little barren because there's some problems with insects.
But that's like not changing either. It's just like it just didn't get the maintenance.
There's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing maintaining it or any, like, nobody's. It's just kind of dying
on its own.
It's like it really is a place like that's stuck in time.
Stuck in time. We drove through the town. Literally, I mean, you drive through the town in less than 3 minutes, right, honey? You're through the town.
Yeah.
So if you go around the island,
it's
no joke.
It's so small that I know one person there from my contractor days, and I was like, man, I'm gonna text Uncle Tony. Like, I'm excited. I just want to meet up. We can have lunch with him. I we're gonna make some plans and
we're at the shopping at the market.
Yeah, we're at the market, and then so I text him, and I was like, yeah, we're just gonna grab some groceries. What part of the island you on? He's like, oh, I'm getting groceries too, and I was like, oh, cool. He's like, there's only 2 on the island, man. Which one you at? I was like, there's only 2 on the island. The other one's right across the street. And so it's funny, while we're texting, then
I was like, let's just go in here because I want to see if it changed.
Yeah.
We walk in there and I just hear Richie, hey, Uncle Tony. I'm like, what the heck?
That's how small it is, man. You could text people. They're literally like 10 feet away. Oh man, so yeah, we got to catch up with him, but yeah, it's it's small, and and I think the heart over there is like they want to protect it from.
They don't want anything to change.
Any heavy development and anything like that, and so they've done a really good job. It's still what it was when she was there.
Same from years 30. We figured we did the math 32 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that age reveal.
Wow.
It's okay. Close to 50.
Yeah, so share a little bit about we got to relax and things like that, but I think our experience with the hot bread was pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
for me
you've
it
seen
was.
that, yeah.
For
well,
me it
you
was.
share because I took you.
Yeah, okay, I guess.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, she was hyping it up, She was like, man, at midnight, you can go get this bread. I'm like, ooh, it's hot bread too? I'm like, that sounds good. So, I guess we found out that you can go get it at like 8 o'clock now, at p.m.
You don't have to wait till midnight anymore.
Does that change the magic of it?
No. Oh, that's your question, actually. I've never done it.
Yeah. I think for me, it did a little bit.
Yeah, because it's early.
Because it's the whole anticipation and waiting until it's like midnight, and if you can make it.
If you can make it,
then you get to go.
That's for like young people, not us in our 40s.
Right.
She said 8 o'clock. I was like, game, like let's go. But interesting enough, it was a magical night. Right? It was a very magical night.
That night was magical.
It was. I think you only can experience what we experienced. I mean, it's real simple things, but it just was magical for us because we're in a busy life. So going to get the hot bread, we parked the car, and I was like, cool, we're gonna go in here, but it looks pretty closed. And she's like, oh, we gotta go down this alley. And I'm like, alley?
The dark alley.
Yeah, there's a dark alley, and I'm like, okay. And then I see like some stragglers in the road, and there's nobody out there
walking toward us. Just like, one guy. It was like, one guy.
She's like, film me going down the alley, and I'm like, hold on, I'm gonna pull out my phone and. Like, there's people.
Hold on, somebody's coming here. I gotta keep you safe.
I gotta protect
I was like,
you,
man, we on Molokai. Don't worry about that.
I'm like, these guys don't know you or remember you. I gotta protect you, man. I'm like,
and
Chicago was coming out. I was like, you ain't gotta do that over here, honey.
So it would be funny if you guys come up to the closest guy. Oh, Uncle Tony.
I know it's Uncle Tony. Oh man, so. Yeah, so I pulled out my phone. I'm like, I'm not putting the flashlight on. Like, I turned the light off and everything. I'm like, man, I'm gonna record this just for her. But we walked down the alley and then we turn. Then you turn towards the back where they you put in your order, and it was pretty cool. It was like a little just felt very local, spot. Yeah. But I think we came just in time because. Man, I think the whole town started coming, man. It was like, it was the hangout. It was like
the spot, no?
It was the spot. Everybody coming, talking about work and the bread they about to get. And I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. So we put in our order. We got our bread, and then jumped in the car. I'm like, aren't we gonna eat this? Like, so she goes, no, we're gonna get back to the room and eat it. And I'm like, all right, cool. So yeah, we're going down, but you gotta imagine like we're in an island with no street lights.
Yeah.
Wait, you forgot where I took you. I took you to the wharf.
Oh, the wharf. Okay, yeah. So she took me to the wharf. This is
because this is where my auntie used
That's
to
where
take
we
us.
ate the bread. Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. That's where we ate bread.
So we're driving down.
We went down to the wharf. It was pretty funny for me because this is like the hangout spot for the younger groups.
Yeah.
They just basically
Drive up and down.
They
The
bump
strip.
their music. Yeah, they bump their music. They drive down, but it's a wharf, so they got a U-turn and drive back. So we get to hear the same song twice. Sorry, it was funny to me. I was just laughing, like just imagining like in high school and young 20s, and this is like the thing. What song we gonna bump by everybody?
Right. No, I hear you.
What you doing tonight? What song you got? Let's go down the wharf and bump.
Yeah.
I don't think we're sounding like that, but okay.
Yeah. That's my version. But we sat there. Was able to eat the bread. That was really cool because I mean you're right there in the ocean. There's not much lights. So when I say there's not much lights, what I mean by that is like you really can see the stars, and it's like it's a different ambience that I'm used to even here on Oahu.
Well, there's no light pollution. That's why when you're in the city or that doesn't have too much light, that's like what do you call
can't
it?
see it. Yeah, it's blinding it. Yeah.
So I definitely can see
super
that.
Clear, yeah.
Yeah. So we started going back, and
No, we were driving down. Is when we seen it. We're driving to the wharf.
That's when you seen the shooting star?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we saw a shooting star. I mean, I really like.
But it's been years. I'm saying that because to me it was magical because it's.
Haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it, and it used to be I could see them down in Moloka'i where we lived, but even now it's just like so much light pollution that you can't see as the stars. You can't see as many stars in the sky and stuff. So seeing a shooting star has, I think, probably in my 20s. That's the last time I seen one. Yeah. So
That's
it was just and it was like right in front of us, and it was big. And it just streamed right across the sky, and I just got so excited. I was like, "Did you see that, honey? Did you see that?" Yeah, and then we can go on.
Yeah, and so we started headed back to the room, but there's no lights. Remember?
No street lights.
Lights. So she was like, "Man, why ain't you driving?" And I was like, "I'm tired." But as we're going, she kind of like just swooping back through the one road, just going, and then all of a sudden we saw a deer.
What?
Yeah, a big, healthy deer, like
healthy.
Yeah, right on the ocean side of the road
on the ocean side,
like just staring at us. And she was freaking out because.
Did you guys take photos?
No.
She was like she was worried that the deer was going to jump out because it was that close to the road. Just like.
Well, and it did a motion.
It did a It did. He was like y'all. He's like, what y'all doing? Like his head popped out, and we looking at him. He's looking at us, and we're looking at. It was a girl, wasn't it?
It was a girl.
It was a girl, but she was looking at us. We were looking at her, and it was just like, better not.
Yeah.
Like, today, like, don't do that, please. Stay there. So we ended up getting by, but after we passed, then it was like the excitement, like, whoa, we just saw a deer.
Right.
You know?
That's crazy.
I mean, growing up in Illinois, I've seen deer, but it's been so long, and I was just weird for me because I was like, deer.
Yeah.
And then she educated me that in the island of Moloka'i, there's a lot of deer.
What else do they have there?
I'm not sure, but I know that when I looked it up, it says approximately, as of 2022, over 70,000 deer.
17 or 70?
70,000.
Yo, don't tell the hunters that.
They're trying to get people to go over there and hunt the deer.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's overpopulated. It was so bad that when we were leaving, there was dead deer on the side of the road.
Oh.
Yeah. We almost stopped for that one, but we
take a picture.
But it was
check out this magical night.
But to really end on the magical night, that was the magical morning. Yeah, that was on the way to church. Or the airport, one or the other. But going back after the deer, then we saw probably the largest harvest moon I've seen up close in my lifetime.
It was huge because last week, did you see the harvest moon?
No.
Oh, it was huge.
And it was like literally like picture center.
Did you guys take a picture?
No, I pulled over and he was like, you really want to take a picture here? Those people over there. I was like, we on Molokai.
I'm just being a husband, being protective, man. It was like,
I feel safe. You should feel safe.
no, because like where we were stopping, imagine like middle of nowhere, and there's like just one group of people. Like, why are they right there?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just because he doesn't know. That's one Ali'i park. Like, it's safe. It's safe.
That's a public park.
At night. I know. All right.
It was a family barbecuing.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh man. I didn't see all that.
Nah, that's just a husband.
Yeah, that's just.
It's so funny because when we go to
kicking in,
Chicago, you just like, cool.
It's
You
the
let me
same.
walk all over the place.
I'm like, nah, you cool here. And she's
Group
like,
of kids with handguns.
And I'm like,
cool.
no, they just, those aren't real. I could tell.
They cool.
Even if they threaten you,
can
don't
take a
worry
picture.
about it. Take picture. Man, so yeah, saving the harvest moon, and then getting back to the thing is the bread wasn't hot no more, so I put it in the microwave when we got back. She's like, don't do that.
Not the same.
But I was like, I'm gonna do 10 seconds. That's it. It worked. So, but no, it was the hot bread experience that night was really nice. Just getting that R&R, just going through everything we went through, and the next day we got to go to a church she grew up in. Her grandpa, the church she grew up in, where her grandpa, I don't know if he started it or
he didn't start that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
but he was a pastor there.
Yeah.
That's the reason why that she grew up there, was because he was pastoring there. So we got to go to that church, and that was just a whole nother experience. I mean, I don't know how far we're gonna go into that, but it was if you want to share anything in that.
There's a lot to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did get some really good, the word was good, and it touched me. It was a life-changing. You get those words and you leave and you're like, oh, that was good. Oh, that was so good. But then you get the words that change your life.
And it's one of those words that I was like, it's like, you flew here and that word was for you. And she's like, that word is for you too.
That's hilarious.
We were sitting there eating pizza, and I was like, man, it's so cool how God brought you here and gave you that word. She's like, wait a minute.
You're sitting next to me.
No, because the funny part, it was like one of those words that are for like wives and husbands, so it should be both, but I kind of chose that was for you. Like
I'm so hardcore. You see, that was for you. God was trying to tell you something.
I said it. I had a really good meaning behind why I said it, and I shared that with her, but it was funny. But I think in our season of life, the full circle that she had, and the revelation that I got of just my wife, knowing like how cool it is that she's from, or families from, or really been part of growing up in three major parts, very rooted parts of the islands, with Hilo on the Big Island, Moloka'i, and being born and raised in Waianae. Those three spots, are very rooted, man. Yeah. And just knowing she's part of those three and connected, God just kind of showed me like, your wife has big purpose here on the islands, and I kind of gave her this triangle of these three spots to grow up in, to be rooted in and educated in and experienced in for things to come. And I shared that with her, and it doesn't really make much sense now, and it will, and we're going to come back and revisit this documentation, and it's noted, but I think the scripture I got was God is getting ready to sing a new song, and all things new, God's about to do something new, and on the island, with our family, on a micro level with our family, in the company, on the island, and in the world. I think God is stirring up something, and so I think that was our ground zero moment to say, wow, God, in this new thing you're about to do, that was our ground zero moment to say, we're ready. We're back on the podcast. We're about to go be vessels again. I don't know what that looks like, but we're going to be obedient, and we're just going to, do some podcasts, do some more shows, do some more things publicly, but just be ready to embrace yourself with Jesus coming with it, because ultimately we both are Jesus-centered believers. We believe Jesus is the centerpiece from the beginning to the end. We just had that Bible study in Moloka'i on Colossians, right? Of Jesus being all in all. And, that's what's coming with us. You know what I'm saying? That he's the centerpiece. And I think God is going to do a great healing and in this time. And his last, revelation of his son before these last days. And, I'm not any prophet or anything. But I do believe that we're on borrowed time, and meaning God is so graceful that he's got this next season where he's going to do it one more time, like reveal his son it ultimately as much as he can. And it's the responsibility of us. I mean, he's hearing our cries. Like, if you look across the world, he's hearing the cries of like the time of Abraham was like, Abraham was saying, let me go into Sodom and Gomorrah and save 100. And he's like, you ain't going to be able to. Well, at least 50, I think I'm paraphrasing the numbers, but he just wanted to go in and save somebody. And ultimately Jesus said, like, man, people have been sent for years prophesying I'm coming, and you beat them down. Here I am, and you put me on a cross. What's going to change for the next generation if I show myself again? But because of the cries of the people today, I think God is saying, just like he said to Abraham, go in and see who you can get. I'll show grace one more time. Go into Sodom and Gomorrah and get whoever you can. I don't care if it's one. So I think we're in that day, y'all. Like, Jesus' last little splash on the earth, if you can capture it, it's coming and it's here. And so, we're ready for it. We just hit ground zero, and we're bracing ourselves for whatever God's going to do in these last days. That could be another 1,000 years. I don't know. But I think we're at ground zero and just going to build off that, prepare our kids for it. I mean, we got a big family. We got 4 kids, 10 grandkids with 1 on the way. Did I get those numbers right? We almost got 12 disciples. Which is, I think, like a capacity number. Like, Jesus didn't go past 12, so 12 is like I'm joking. If we get more, we're gonna handle. But it's like,
yeah, we still got honor to have babies.
Oh man. So it's we're discipling them. That's our ground zero right now. Is disciple our kids, disciple them in preparation for our grandkids, disciple our grandkids, and then this or whatever else to an extent that we have the energy or time for. Man, we're going to, it's all about Jesus, man, and what the good news that he brings. So here we are. We're back after a year absence, being under contract to not go out too much and share too much, but we're here to share again. So
for our regular listeners, guys, thank you so much for your patience with us. We're stoked to get back onto the podcast and share a bunch of stories and just how things are going. But Richie, Tiffany, any last things you guys want to mention before we close out?
No, we're. I'm releasing a book soon, so keep on.
He did say he's gonna write a book.
I am writing a book. Actually, it's in motion. So it's called Builder of All Things. I'll just put it out there.
Is this a business or business book, Richie?
Honestly, I would say the approach is right now, but I gotta be open to allow God to speak, and however it flows, the way it flows. But I do want to share insight on things that we've talked about on the podcast and summarize it into a degree of it's all about Jesus, man. Like at the end of the day, whether you're in business or life, Jesus needs to be on the boat. I mean, that's really like if I were to summarize it. So, and how important that is and what happens and what the whole journey is about. But yeah, I think to summarize it, it will be the approach initially will be about business owners and how to step into business as a believer into the marketplace. But who knows where it'll go? You know, I'm just going to trust and get it out for documentation, just so I can move on to the next season, whatever it is. And so
awesome, guys! If you made it this far, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and look forward to more podcasts. We're just starting. Yeah, we're getting back on. But guys, thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
All right. Yeah, let's go.
All right, guys.
I come from a poor family, We ain't never had a lot, But the Lord been good to us, Now we riding on the top, I come from a poor